Doug is asking, are there strategies available when you use super contributions to potentially reduce capital gains tax payable after selling shares? And Bridget asks, how can I best utilise super to pay capital gains? I have worked 40 hours this year and I am 74. I can repeat the second question if that's too much to handle.
I guess I get too far into it and forget what the question was. So I'll start with Doug's question first. So yes, there is strategies available with super contributions to potentially reduce capital gains tax. There are some considerations around it, I guess. So, and that's to do with when you are over 67 before turning 75, to be able to put money into super, yes, you can, as a personal voluntary contribution after tax. But to be able to claim a tax deduction, you either have to meet the work test or a work test exemption. So work test, this is where you've worked 40 hours in 30 days. So if you've met that condition, you can use the contribution, and that becomes a concessional contribution, and that's subject to the cap. So the cap at the moment for 1 year is 30,000. And of course, there is possibility, if your balance of super is below 500,000, that you can use catch-up provisions within that. So as always, it's one area where advice can be really helpful to go through your particular situation and work out where you're sitting with all of those different elements. And I think with Bridget, was it Bridget?
Yes.
Bridget. So Bridget's question sort of sounds as though Bridget's meeting that condition of that she's 74 and she's worked for 40 hours. So if it has to be in a 30-day period, so unfortunately, if you've sort of spread it out over time, it needs to count in that 30-day period. And with the work test exemption, potentially, if you've met that criteria in the financial year before, there's potential there. And then I think for Bridget, being 74, you've got that you've got that 75 upper limit for making contributions coming up. So like Andrew was saying before, be really aware on top of the rules that are applying to you to make sure that you meet it in time, because I think it's 28 days from the end of the month after you turn 75. So that could be, making sure that you've got all of your forms ready, all the paperwork done, so there's no potential delays and you meet your deadlines.